If you see that the answer choices are messing with punctuation, you instantly need to be thinking about sentence structure. Maybe you're like, oh, well, something sounds good or bad. That might help you, but we have problems with that with sentence structure. Sometimes we make sentences that sound fine, but because of the punctuation we use, we can't do it. So we've got to think about the punctuation and we got to think about the wording that we're using. So when I'm reading this, I'm looking, where does my sentence begin and end? So I first see in 2011. Well, that's a nice little intro clause. I don't really care about that. The comma afterwards kind of tells me that I shouldn't care about that. Then these two writers joined forces to found Cake Literary. That's a sentence, right? These two writers joined forces, subject, verb. So this is a full, complete thought. And there's a comma after that that we're not touching, right? It's got to stay there. And what does that comma do? It lets us shift. And in a sentence, we're shifting always from like, what is my main idea into some extra clause, or from an extra clause into a main idea. So we're always moving between the kind of main sentence and the extra stuff we attach to it. So in this case, a book packaging company, this is a description of what Cake Literary is. So that's why that comma is there. We're adding an extra description. So we don't want another comma because we never really return to this green sentence. It's just kind of over. So all the rest is just description of what Cake Literary is. It's a book packaging company that specializes in the creation and promotion of stories told from diverse perspectives for children and young adults. It's a mouthful, but it's all just description. And so for that, we're going to choose choice B. Choice A would create too many breaks in the sentence. We don't want that comma there. Choice C would sound weird, I would hope. A book packaging company specializes in the creation. Oh, well, that actually turns it into a complete sentence, and then we'd have a run-on, so that's not good. And then choice D is tempting because the word that is kind of like adding on extra information as well. And so we might think, oh, well, if it's extra, we should use a comma. But this is something maybe just to kind of remember. The word that in English very rarely gets a comma. Very rarely gets a comma. Now, the SAT is good at finding exceptions, but we're going to teach the rule and worry about the exceptions when they come up. The rule is the word that usually does not have a comma. If we want to use it to attach extra information, we just do it like we did in choice B. It just continues. There's no interruption and no comma. Hopefully that helps.